contradicts that. I'm spitting flat facts and that. And I know you don't like that. Google Maps is flat, it presents elevation profiles like that. I'm a spitting flat earth king. Sentence has a ring, doing my own thing. If earth was a big roast chicken, factually finger licking chicken, we just got the measurements missing. I'm spitting eggs and begs, begging the question lesson. I've said it before, time after time. I'm the spitting flat earth king of rhyme.
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Live. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe. Hit the bell notification icon and join button if you'd like to become a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member and keep up to date with the Flat Earth debate. If you would like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they are live. There's also a coffee, Patreon, crypto and thanks button in the info box below the video. Most importantly, if you'd like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the nature of Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel, so please share the show on Facebook and X. Now we are joined by Len, Adam, Jin, Neil, Flat Earther. I can't see who that is. Is that Eli? I think it's Eli, and a whole bunch of people in the Flipside Discord server. So welcome one and all.
How you doing, everybody?
Morning.
Hello, hello. Big shout out to the guys in the flip side. Big shout out to them. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome.
How are you?
Oh, very well, thanks.
I think
Great weekend.
me.
How was your weekend?
I think he was asking me, actually. I'm all right. Thank you for asking. Busy. That's why we've started 10 minutes late. So I was just boxing up a mic for a guy that's starting a studio, and he happened to buy a couple of mics off me that I'd accepted a price on. And then he was like, what else have you got that would be good for a studio? I want to record drums, guitars, and vocals. I'm like, I got this. And he bought all of it. So I'm like, okay. I was slightly overwhelmed just before the show started. And I like to get it all done, otherwise I'll just forget things. So I like to do them immediately. So even if the live show's starting, I just want to get them out the door so that I'm not disappointing literally paying customers. So there we go. That's me. Today we're covering AsmonGold. So I couldn't remember his name when it came up on Friday, but the other guy's called Penguin Z that I was trying to refer to. I was like, which one of the two is it? Now, one of them's a bit of a grebo. That is to say, he wouldn't be offended by me calling him a bit of a grebo. He's acutely aware of the fact that he's surrounded by what are they called? Red Bull cans. You know what I mean? You know what you are. Whereas Penguin Z's less of a grebo. But they're both very similar in terms of what they do. So I couldn't figure out which of the two we were going to be covering. So there we go. We're going to be covering AsmonGold. Straight off the cuff. Now, I didn't get a chance to watch all of it. I got a chance to watch the first 25 seconds of it, which immediately irritated me. But for the fact that I'm being paid to cover this by one of my supporters, I wouldn't be covering this video. It's just so far removed from what I want to do currently, it's untrue. But what did strike me immediately is that as a consequence of us being censored, the general normie, let's suggest, although he's a YouTuber, that AsmonGold is your average Joe, right? He's not, but you know what I'm getting at. He's not in this pond specifically covering flat earth or anti-flat earth or anti-globe. So he's, from that perspective, a normie. Well, what's he going to look at flat earth? He's going to one of our detractors. He's going to an anti-flat earther. That would be Sabine Hosselandwalder, to get his information from. It's like, so you're going to the government paid controlled opposition for the narrative for you to agree with. It's like, seriously, you're going to cuck to the opposition to this subject and react to that. Why? Well, because we won't be found. All you can find now is our anti-flat counterparts. That's all you'll find. So Sabine's what he's got to cover. Now, back in the day, 5-10 years ago, you'd find one of our videos and you'd respond to us. Now, we're so far down the list, so heavily censored, that you'll find only the mainstream rhetoric. That is to say, the opposition to what a flat earther is. You've got Sabine telling him what a flat earther is. How the bleeding hell would she know? She's not one. But she's going to take it upon herself to tell her audience what a flat earther is. How fricking dare you? You're not one. It'd be as absurd as her telling the world what it's like to be black. She's not black. So how dare she infer that she'd know what it's like to be black? She doesn't. She isn't. How dare she? That's my first reaction. If you want to know what flat earth is, come and talk to me. Don't talk to my opponent about what I am. That's an outrage. So that's straight off the cuff that annoyed me. Why go to Sabine to be told what a flat earther is and what a flat earther believes in? She's not one. Any comments?
Well, Sabine doesn't offer anything in that video. It's all stereotypes and just
Straw man.
beast of nonsense attacks. There's no globe proof in that video whatsoever.
Yeah, zero. It's just ad homs and straw manning us all the way. I saw it to the end, so you'll enjoy it. I hope.
No, I won't. I want to be covering normies. Like I say, I've been paid to do this. So I've received 100 crisp British pounds for covering this video. And as Neil put it in the pre-show, money talks and bullshit walks. In this case, I'll cover the video because I'm being paid to. But it doesn't mean I won't be irritated with it. Before we've even started, I'm irritated with it. Because this guy wants to know about flat earth. So he's going to go to somebody who's responding to flat earthers, telling you what a flat earther is, and suggesting by stereotype how we think what we think. It's outrageous. Anyway, any other comments before we get into it? What I will do, though, is I'll take it easy on AsmonGold, right? Now, that is at Len's suggestion, the guy who paid me £100. So, from that perspective, he's like, look, this guy's not a flatty. He's not an anti-flatty. And in terms of him responding to what he gets as a search-presented algorithmic representation of flat earth, that's not his fault. And I agree. Right, it's not AsmonGold's fault that when he goes, I'll be interested in covering a flat earth video today. Let's see what's out there to cover. You do a search and you get this. You get Simon Dan, you get Dave McKeegan, you get Craig. You get everything but flat earth presented to you. You only get the controlled opposition narratives. That's all you'll get. Not me. Now, if you came to me, AsmonGold, it would be a very, very short conversation. I'd say it's not that serious, mate. Earth's just measured flat in all circumstances and without exception. Go and look at how Earth is actually measured, and you'll find out exactly how flat it is, because that's how it's measured. Now, that measurement of a flat Earth isn't limited to me saying Earth's flat. It's also the basis of your globe belief. To create a globe for you and Sabine to believe in, you must measure Earth flat. Ergo, if you want to deny the flat Earth measurements that I'm professing to right here, right now, then you simultaneously deny the fundamental basis of your ball religion, because it's based on those measurements. So to believe in a ball, you, not me, need to measure Earth flat to create that ball to believe in. Now that puts a spin that I like to call the rock and hard place into this discussion. It's not a debate. There is no debate. Earth's measured flat. But in terms of the discussion, you can either accept how flat Earth is measured to believe in a ball, or deny the flat Earth measurements, which means you've got nothing to base your ball on. That's the hard place, where you deny the flat Earth measurements that your ball's based on. The rock being the very flat measurements of Earth that we must use, do use, and will always use when measuring Earth. So as I say, had you have come to me, it'd be a very short discussion, AsmonGold. Earth's just measured flat. You don't have to like it.
Scare me?
On the face of it, flat Earth beliefs are completely bizarre.
Sorry, are they? Sorry, when did I profess to any belief? Did I, in the last 25 seconds, describe a belief system? When I said Earth is measured flat, Sabine, was that me expressing a bleeding belief? No, you stupid cow. It's not a belief. It's a fact based on the measurements of Earth. It's flat. That's not a belief. You can deny this fundamental base premise of Earth measurement, but then you, not me, can't believe in your stupid ball belief. You're the only one with a belief here, Sabine. It's based on the measurements of Earth. They're flat. How dare you strawman and misrepresent me by stereotype? You're a disgrace. You are not in any position to tell this man or anybody watching your video what I am and what I believe in. How dare you?
Most flat earthers think that the Earth
Straight into a stereotyping fallacy. Most flat earthers, no, Sabine. Yeah, I'm going to do it one last time. You do not get to tell your audience what I believe. How dare you? You disgrace of a woman.
North Pole in
Yeah.
the middle and the South Pole is a wall on the outside that
It's like, what are you nodding about, AsmonGold? It's like, have you gone and interviewed all flat earthers to agree with this stereotyping fallacy? Now, you're making yourself seem incredibly stupid. You're nodding along while she uses a fallacy called stereotyping, where she says most flat earthers. No, I am a flat earther. I say it's flat because that's how it's measured. It's got sod all to do with this, which is an azimuthal equidistant North Pole centric globe projection. So why are you nodding along? I debunked this shit 10 years ago with Tracking the Sun on a Flat Earth Live, where I took measurements. That's to say, located the sun at given times and saw if it matched with the zenith position of the sun at the time and date depiction by comparison to this azimuthal equidistant North Pole centric globe projection. So no, most flat earthers, how many have responded to this video? Am I the first? Because immediately she's wrong. I'm disagreeing with her based on the facts. Earth's measured flat. To create a globe, to then project it conically in the fashion that this is from the North Pole, because it's the North Pole centric azimuthal equidistant projection of a globe that was created using flat Earth measurements. So she's wrong and you're nodding. Why? So you sound smart because you're agreeing with Sabine? She's a dingbat using a stereotyping fallacy. Why would you agree?
keeps the water from escaping. They can't really agree on where the continents are or
Did I come up with this frickin' map? What do you mean we can't agree? I didn't come up with the North Pole centric azimuthal equidistant projection. It's not mine. You're saying I can't agree. You mean the cartographers that made this map? The Gleasons as it is map, which is the same as this. That would be Gleason. Not me, you stupid stereotyping using idiot.
how many there are, or whether the South
Nobody
Pole...
knows. I mean, it's impossible. How can you know how many continents there are?
What? There was people who went out and explored the world, AsmonGold. They put them on maps. Are you a map denier? We can't know. Go and get a map of the world and count them. Are you a dingbat too? Are you completely insane? People went to great expense to discover the new worlds. Like my terminology. Out towards the offing. That's the horizon when they explored outer space. That's the area they used to call beyond the offing, beyond the horizon, where the new worlds are. You live on one of them, AsmonGold. What's that? You thought new worlds were up in the sky? No. Not according to the documented history that we could all go by, and the maps where you can count continents on them. Now, does that mean that you might have more? Well, we certainly found more out towards the offing. Until they were describing the world spherically by use of flat Earth measurements. So they wrapped the world around itself in the maps. That's globe projection. But they had to measure Earth flat to achieve that. Let's get that absolutely clear.
It's
maybe
impossible. How
extends
would you
all
know?
the way to infinity, so it's a flat Earth multiverse theory, basically.
Sorry, where did you get this from? So it's a flat Earth multiverse theory named because somebody came up with it. Who came up with this shit that she's lying about? She's just a bold-faced liar. No, there's no flat Earth multiverse theory. You're just a bullshitter, aren't you, Sabine? You're just making it up. No, there is no flat Earth multiverse theory. There's just flat Earth measurements. Sabine, however, this dim-witted stereotype-using clown, does have a multiverse. She does have multi-dimensions. She believes that time is a dimension based on Einsteinian mathematics. And I can prove it. I can show where she stated it. Now, do we have time, a conceptual dimension invented by a man named Einstein? No, we do not. It's a concept in a geometry called pseudo-Riemannian fourth-dimensional space-time invented by Einstein. So she is projecting her own nonsense waffle onto us. She's just a liar.
Yeah.
Part of the reason
So did I say yeah? So again, cockwaffler, Grebo, why are you agreeing with her? Have you done any research beyond watching this video and nodding along with it? You agree, do you? No, Dumbo. You've got a fourth-dimensional space-time geometry given to you by Einstein. It's nonsense. Time's not a dimension. You want to show me time? You want to put it in a bag? You won't be, but that's your stupid belief that she's projected onto me. And it's a freaking outrage.
people believe in this is just a lack
I love how, like, this is the explanation for why the Earth is actually flat.
Is it? From a globe-believing lying bitch? No, AsmonGold, you're as stupid as she is. No, this is not an explanation for how Earth's flat. You get that from me, not from her, a bull believer. She's going to lie and stereotype and suggest that we believe in multi-dimensions. No, there's length, breadth and depth. That's what we've got. We haven't got a time dimension that you, if you believe in heliocentrism and Einsteinian pseudo-geometry, believe in. Not me. Don't agree with us so you can sound smart.
As if, like, if you did this with a frisbee and not a basketball, it would also look fucking stupid.
Really? You sound stupid because you obviously haven't looked into how Earth got measured to create a basketball model that you believe in. It was measured flat to achieve that stupid nonsensical ball model that you thought you were living on till about 25 seconds ago when I pointed out the facts in the matter. Earth's measured flat. To create your stupid ball, your basketball that you think you're living on with your pseudo-Riemannian fourth-dimensional space-time geometry that this bitch projected onto me, much to my outrage. Now you're getting shouted at, AsmonGold, and called a dumbass. No frisbee Earth, no ball basketball Earth, just flat Earth measurements. The measurements are of a aspect of Earth, not a shape of Earth. You're in a category error, both you clowns.
So how is it that, like, this is the evidence that you have?
No, you dingbat! This isn't my evidence, it's hers! A bull-believing clown's evidence that she's stereotyping with isn't my evidence. My evidence is based on the measurements of Earth, AsmonGold. Go and look at any of them. They're all flat. Want some examples? Flight level, ground level, eye level, sea level, surface level, altitude, elevation angle. These are Earth measurements, you dingbat. You drunk too many Yoo-Hoos and Red Bulls to not go and actually look at how Earth's measured when assessing an opponent of the flat Earth for how flat Earthers think. You're as dumb as she is.
We superglued some stick figures onto a basketball and
No, AsmonGold, you dumbass. This lying bitch did that. It's on her video. What did I refer to? I referred to flight level, sea level, surface level, eye level, parallel. All of these things are axiomatically tied to how Earth gets measured, not stickmen on an Sabine Hoslenfelder video. That's not me. She's not a flat earther. She doesn't get to tell you what I believe. I don't have any beliefs in this regard. I base everything I spit at you in this factual discussion on measurements of Earth. They're flat.
spun it around?
Basic science education. Some of them think that if the Earth was a globe, then water just run off on the South Pole.
It would fall off
by...
down.
Sorry, these are discussions about your dumbass bull belief. What the holy fuck does this have to do with how Earth is measured flat? You're talking about how a ball doesn't work. That is in no way, shape or form anything to do with Earth's surface and its measurements. It's about you and your idiotic ball belief and how your idiotic ball belief is suggested to fail by one individual in this video. Now, it's simultaneously taken ownership by Sabine, who's using it to stereotype everyone. But the man on screen and Sabine are not detailing anything to do with Earth as a flat plane, how it's measured. You're detailing how your dumbass ball faith fails. Sod all to do with me, how you interpret your ball, or others interpret your ball. That's got sod all to do with flat Earth. That's just how Earth's measured.
At the bottom.
I wonder what.
Yep.
They also misunderstand how perspective
Really? Sorry, you're going to talk about perspective, something that doesn't exist in your globe reification fallacy that's based on flat Earth measurements? Why are you doing this, Sabine? You're a disgrace of a human being. Now, I absolutely understand perspective. I've got a ball-believing school teacher, formerly known as Conspiracy Cats, who said, and I quote, "You'll need a flat Earth for that," end quote, when detailing perspective. Because that's how that's measured also. If you're going to detail perspective with respect to the surface of Earth, with measurements, you will and can only measure Earth flat for that. Now, am I stereotyping you stupid cow, about how you don't understand perspective? No, I'm not. I'm using a cited source, that would be Conspiracy Cats, a former school teacher, who, quote, "You'll need a flat Earth for that," end quote, pointed out how flat Earth must be to use perspective. Meanwhile, you with your idiotic ball faith have got a begging the question, proof of nothing, perspective hijacking mathematics that takes the effect of things disappearing into the distance, that's perspective, and call it Earth curve. So no, this is yet another projection by a disingenuous lying cow named Sabine.
Round earthers. To be fair, it's impressive that this is a...
It's funny though, I'm not going to get into all that nonsense he's talking about, but it's funny that because they've just shown one example that water doesn't stick to a ball, and now they're showing you that the light is divergent. Everything that they say it isn't, they've twisted it the wrong way around for themselves.
To describe the angles in this description, right, the angles that he's got on screen are with respect to a plane. That's how you'd measure this.
Well, it doesn't matter whether it's divergent, convergent, or parallel. You must have a plane of reference in order to describe it in any way.
Precisely. In order to describe this straw man that Sabine the cow, lying, disingenuous glurf, has decided to straw man me with, because I'm the one responding to this, John, refracted curvature, yeah, that's a play on the fact that you guys use a begging the question, proof of nothing perspective hijacking Earth curve calculator to suggest you've got a point in the distance that boats disappear over. But in reality, to describe anything with this measurement akin to a divergence requires a plane of reference. Or to put it another way, you'll need a flat Earth for this, you pair of clowns.
This is a phrase. It's a proper noun. Wow.
works, how trigonometry works, how cameras work, and on it goes.
Sorry, you think that when you use a camera, you're taking perspective into account when you incorporate your bald belief for a disappearing boat in the distance? No, you do not, Sabine. You're a disingenuous scumbag liar. Or you're just very ill-informed about how your Earth curve geometry functions. It's hijacked perspective. Doesn't include it, though. So why would you choose to talk about this subject, when in reality, quote, I'll give you a flat Earth for that, end quote, conspiracy cats, when detailing perspective, something that is not included in your geometry? You will require a flat plane of reference to describe any mathematical inference about perspective. These are facts. Facts that prove how flat Earth will and can only be measured for perspective!
You cannot bring up technology and science to disprove flat Earth.
Dumbo, you're in a category error. How Earth is measured is maths. Science establishes the cause of naturally occurring phenomena. It's called natural science. Step 1, observe natural phenomena. Step 2, formulate a scientific prediction, otherwise known as a hypothesis, with an independent variable, that's your presumed cause, of the naturally occurring phenomena. Alongside it is a null, a zero difference result, where your presumed cause doesn't cause the effect you observed at step 1. Step 3, actualize the hypothesis. Vary and manipulate that which you presume causes the effect you observed at step 1 and see if it causes it or not. An empirical outcome is achieved at the end of this process. Either you will cause the effect you observed at step 1, tick, validating the alternative hypothesis, or you will vary and manipulate that which you assumed caused the effect and it doesn't, validating the null. Validation is the only outcome when observing phenomena. That's something occurring in nature. Do you think measuring a plane of reference for perspective is observing natural phenomena to put it through the scientific method? No. AsmonGold is a clown and doesn't understand what science is, but feels by talking about science and technology, two completely separate subjects. He can say, oh, well, you can't validate Earth with that. Now, you're in a category error, you dumbo. The reason you're in a category error is because you don't know what science is.
You can't do that because they didn't get there with science. You think that somebody believes flat Earth because they know.
So you get there with science. No, it's a method for establishing cause and effect through experimentation. You don't get there. It's not the means of journeying. Are you an idiot?
Know about science? No. They believe flat Earth because they don't know about science.
Really? You dumb fuck! How dare you? I absolutely know what science is. I've just detailed concisely for a live audience the method of science, aka the scientific method. Observe phenomena, formulate hypothesis, perform experimentation, and then form theory. That's science. I can absolutely guarantee you that this Red Bull swilling grebo hasn't got the slightest clue what science is, which is why I can spit feathers and call you a moron. You're going to tell me I don't know what science is? I not only know what science is, I know how that magic word that infers empiricism has been used in a category error to pretend you have the sphericity of a ball Earth beneath your feet based on maths. That's the measurement of surface level, sea level, eye level, parallel, perpendicularity. All of these axiomatic principles that we use when measuring Earth. Nothing to do with science. So, AsmonGold, maybe keep your dumb mouth shut when you're talking about what I don't know, because I absolutely assure you I know a damn sight more about science than you will ever know, you utter clown.
That's the whole reason why they're thinking it.
So now you're into using stereotype fallacies. The reason I know Earth's measured flat is because I don't know what science is. And I'm schooling you on the method live. And I don't know it, yeah I do. I challenge AsmonGold to present a single scientifically empirically measured data point. You can't, it's a category error, you abject buffoon.
So you can't be like, oh, well, science says this. Well, it's
That is called a reification fallacy with anthropomorphization. Big words that I can say live. Anthropomorphization is making human that which is not. In this case, a method. What a clown.
if science says anything, then
It doesn't have lips. Is a method for establishing the cause of natural phenomena gonna waggle its lips, AsmonGold, you complete buffoon? No. That's anthropomorphization that you're utilising.
then this person wouldn't be, you wouldn't be having this conversation to begin with. You can't reason a person out of a position they didn't reason themselves into.
Sorry, are you trying to be some sort of fucking philosopher? What do you think you are? Do you think you're saying profound statements? You're in a category error trying to profess to be smart. You're coming across as a complete idiot. Let me assure you, science deals with cause and effect. Earth, on the other hand, is measured flat. That's maths.
And that's where flat Earth is at. This is not a reasoned position.
Maybe he's projecting.
Not a reasoned position. It's just a measurement, you dumbass. It's not a position I need to take. It's an absolute stone cold fact based on how we measure Earth. Go ahead, John.
He didn't reason himself onto a globe, so you can't reason him off of one. He's projecting.
That's
You
true.
were told you were on a globe, AsmonGold. You were told this. That's what you have taken to believe in, based on what you've been told. And now you're seeking affirmation from this. That's confirmation bias.
It's not just a matter of misunderstanding. If you believe that the Earth is flat,
Well, I don't believe Earth is flat. It's measured that way. There's no belief involved here. The only belief involved is you with your sphere beneath your feet that you believe in. That's your belief that you're projecting onto me. My absolute stone cold factual understanding of this matter is based on Earth measurements. We've already had one from you describing perspective and convergence with respect to a plane that you'd have to measure. So we haven't even got 30 seconds into this video and we're already measuring Earth flat, aren't we, Sabine?
you also have to believe in a global conspiracy.
So by incorporating global into a conspiracy, sorry, where did I suggest that two or more people have colluded to measure Earth? No, that's not a conspiracy. It's a measurement of Earth's surface to describe convergence or perspective. That's not a conspiracy, you complete clown. But you've got to burn this straw man where you say I believe in a conspiracy. No, I hate them. I hate all of the flat Earth clowns around me that profess to their conspiratorial nonsense that they investigated before they got here. It seems to me the case that every idiot under the sun who's got a conspiracy that they're looking into gets furrowed towards flat Earth so they can waffle on about 9/11 truth and Sandy Hook so that you can call us conspiratards. Well, that's not me, love. I'm talking about how Earth gets measured. Flat in all circumstances. That's not a conspiracy. It's a measurement of Earth's surface.
That's right.
That's hiding the truth
Is it? Really, AsmonGold? You going to agree with this numpty dipshit?
for no particular reason.
That's right.
For starters, you must believe that most of physics is wrong.
It's fake.
And
Sorry, most of physics is wrong when we're talking about measuring the surface of the Earth. That's maths, not physics. Physics is the study of the physical and natural world, aka natural science. That's the scientific method. That's physics. Cause and effect reasoning based on natural phenomena. That's physics. The physical and natural world in study format is natural science. That is the scientific method. Sabine's in a category error. We don't deal with Earth measurement. Who's interrupting me? Go on. If you're going to interrupt, and I'm going to stop.
I was going to say her physics she's appealing to either uses Earth as an inertial plane to describe a force or a non-inertial plane to describe an upwards vector. So I don't know what she's talking about when she's saying we don't believe in physics. I
was going to say how physics fails.
We're called science deniers. Why? Because the empiricism offered by the scientific method has been hijacked to put what should be a mathematical or geographical subject matter, that's Earth and its surface, in the form of measurements, has been put into a science category so that you can barefaced lie and call the suggested fact that Earth is a sphere physics. And when somebody says it isn't, you can call them a science denier. In reality, it's a category error deliberately imposed so that nobody notices how flat Earth gets measured. If it was in geography or maths, you'd know about it pretty quick. But you put it in science and tell your student, like AsmonGold, to glance up at the stars when detailing the surface being measured flat. Because it is that flat surface that creates the elevation angle measurements to create orbital motion and heliocentrism. That's to say your globe belief. That's where it comes from. But you'd know pretty quickly if they put it in maths, rather than lying about having it be empirically validated. It isn't. It can't be. You can't describe flatness, that's a concrete noun, as a cause and effect based on a phenomena. Flatness, or the measurement of Earth's surface, surface level, sea level, flight level, eye level. You can't call that a phenomena to call it physics.
Physicists are just
Fake.
making things up.
It's fake.
We're all part of a big conspiracy.
Right, what, like a downward vector with respect to a plane of reference for a gravity that's been superseded 110 years ago in the form of Newtonian gravitational vectors perpendicular to a plane? No, you, with your stupid ball belief and your need to have people sticking to a ball, invent things that require flat Earth measurements to bullshit about. In this case, out-of-date pseudo-forces. That's gravity. Or is it the conceptual bending of a fourth dimension invented by a man named Einstein that he projected onto us earlier when you suggested that we've got extra dimensions in flat Earth? No, mere projection from a bullshitter named Sabine, where she infers her use of extra dimensions invented by a man named Einstein in a pseudo-geometry are the physics that I would deny. No, let's just make it absolutely and abundantly clear for anybody listening, including AsmonGold, who I'll share his link to momentarily. Earth is simply measured flat. In this case, a downward vector for a Newtonian gravity, perpendicular to a plane of reference when measured. Now, not all things go down, go boom boom, go splash splash. Fart, as AsmonGold the Grebo undoubtedly does in that dirty, stinky room he's sat in, and you'll find that the gases expand in all direction. They're not going down and forming puddles, in line with a Newtonian aspect that, when measured, if true, would require a plane to measure it with.
Geophysicists, they're also in
Fake,
on it.
fake.
Astrophysicists, all
Well, yeah, it's fake, obviously, because like people, you
stuttery clown! You've edited this video, you haven't done this live, and you're managing to stutter your way through your affirmation based on a bullshitter's sentiment. What a disgrace. Could you not edit out your stuttery, stammery nature? You're stuttering because you haven't got the slightest fucking clue what you're waffling about. Have you, AsmonGold? You're a bullshitter and you fucking know it.
Science was a mistake to put it in the eyes of the average person.
Science was a mistake to put it in the eyes of the average person. That literally made absolutely no fucking sense as a single sentence. As a statement, it made absolutely no sense whatsoever. Science is a methodology for establishing the cause of naturally occurring phenomena, aka natural science, the study of the physical natural world, aka physics. You, AsmonGold, are a Billy bullshitter, a stuttery, stammery wanker, pretending you know about science. You don't.
Like an average human being.
That's you, an average moron.
Is supposed to eat potatoes raw?
Sorry, is this your science example, you crackhead? Really? Is this your science example, you stupid buffoon? You sound like a wanker. Like a bullshitting wanker making shit up. That's what you sound like, AsmonGold. To me, somebody who actually knows what science and the scientific method are, you just sound like a wanker.
And die at 32 from a toothache. Like, we were never supposed to get this. This was never supposed to happen. This was never fucking supposed to happen.
Like, what was never supposed to happen, you babbling buffoon?
And
not eating potatoes and having toothache? No, what you're doing is you're projecting your own stupid, shitty life where you eat shit and have probably lost teeth as a result. Yeah, this has got nothing to do with science. It's not a naturally occurring phenomena that you're describing, you complete crackhead.
And we're having...
You stuttery wanker. Try and form a full sentence with information that you've actually garnered. Don't stutter your way around bullshit about science, because you'll get called out by me.
Problems.
Yes, everyone who's ever been involved in launching a rocket into
It's fake.
space.
Fake.
Sorry, when you launch a rocket into space, you take its altitude measurements perpendicular to a plane of reference. So in order to describe a rocket launch mathematically, that's to say garner any data from that information, the rocket launch itself, you will and can only describe that event with a flat Earth. For altitude, that's height off sea level. You'll need sea level. That's a flat plane of reference to describe the altitude with. Trajectories are flat Earth measurements. You, pair of clowns, are using a flat Earth again.
Putting a satellite into orbit is...
Orbital motion comes from the derivation of angular measurements of the stars by Kepler, scaled by Huygens. These are unequivocally flat Earth prerequisite elevation angle measurements of Earth's flat surface. For you, pair of idiots, to believe in orbital motion, you will require Earth be measured flat with elevation angle measurements. Stop using our flat Earth to infer you've got an orbital mathematics, to believe you're stood on a sphere. It's idiotic.
Part of that conspiracy too. Moon landings didn't happen.
No, they didn't. They violate a law of nature known as entropy. Entropic dispersion would dictate that fart I described that the Grebo would be experiencing surrounded by his cans of Red Bull would dissipate into the area of volume surrounding him. The same would occur with all of the gas that we're currently breathing. If the sky was a vacuum, an area of volume, for men to travel to arrive at the moon's surface, then the gas we are breathing would vacate into what is alleged to be a 10 to the minus 17 torr vacuum. Gas fills space. It's a law of nature. It's called entropy. So yeah, the trip to the moon is absolutely without question fake. It violates a law of nature. Go ahead, whoever that was.
Hey, Nathan, it appears to me like he's watching this for some sort of comfort, because he's just immediately agreeing with everything she's saying, and so it's all reassured in his head that this can't be right. This is the nonsense that the flat earthers say. It's like he's getting some comfort, reassurance from it. Almost
Yeah. What you're calling comfort, I call pain relief.
Hope.
They hope.
Oh, he's getting cope. He's coping with things.
Oh, cope.
Listening to this.
Yeah. You'd have got a lot of cope out of watching our anti-flat Earth brethren, Sabine Hoslenfelder. Right, AsmonGold? Yeah, wait till you get a load of me. Yeah, I'll slap that pain relief out of your hand and point out how flat Earth is being measured for orbital motion, or surface level, or sea level, or altitude, or elevation angles to create your orbital motion with. Earth's measured flat for all of them. Is that giving you pain relief? I doubt it.
ISS, not in orbit. Every single photo that's ever been taken of Earth from space.
Photoshop.
Yeah. You can't take pictures from a violation of a second law of thermodynamics vacuum in the sky. All of the gas you're currently enjoying breathing would fill the space. It's the second law of thermodynamics. Entropic dispersion dictates that the gas you're currently breathing would fill that volume if it was there for them to travel through. If a rocket can vacate the yummy gas you're all enjoying breathing, then so can the gas. No, there are no pictures from space. It's all fake.
Fake sounds pretty crazy, doesn't it?
No, when I describe it based on a law of nature known as the second law of thermodynamics and entropic gas dispersion, gas fills volumes of space. Always and without exception. What's that? It's not filling your sky vacuum space because of what? A gravitational downward vector with respect to a plane of reference you'll have to measure. Oh, no. It's actually the bending pseudo-Riemannian space-time geometry that's keeping the gas all here. No, it's simply a violation of the second law of thermodynamics to assert there's an area of volume above your head that gas is not filling. That violates the second law of thermodynamics. Ergo, there is no outer space sky vacuum to travel to and take pictures from.
But then...
It doesn't sound crazy if you're stupid.
Oh, really, AsmonGold? Are you going to really enjoy listening to me call you a fucking retard then, aren't you? While you stutter and stammer about eating potatoes when talking about science. You thicko. Yeah, that's me spitting these facts about how stupid you are. down my camera live. No stuttering or stammering here, mate. Just me calling you a retard.
And that's what these people don't understand.
These people? How fucking dare you? I'm talking about how Earth gets measured flat, AsmonGold, and how science and the scientific method and empirical methodology for establishing cause and effect when observing natural phenomena in nature. Yeah, I'm detailing how Earth gets measured flat, and you clowns use that category error to suggest to little children that they've got science to prove they're on a ball, when their ball is based on those same flat Earth measurements I appeal to when detailing without a doubt how factually flat Earth is, based on measurements. Not science, not potatoes or tooth removal.
Is that if you understand people, you understand flat Earth.
Really? You think people is what flat Earth is? You think the word flat and the word Earth... Sorry, was that flat people? People Earth? No, you're a fuckwit. The clue's in the frickin' title, you complete clown. When they say flat Earth, you might want to go out and look at how flat the Earth is. That'd be measurements. That'd be rise over run, surveying, elevation angle measurements to form your orbital motion as just a couple of examples. Those measurements that you absolutely require to believe you're on a stupid spinning ball are what I'll lean in while I call you a fuckwit, you dirty grebo clown.
People are just stupid.
Really? And science is about potatoes and tooth removal, is it, fuckwit? No, I'm not stupid, I assure you. Yeah? You are entering into the battle of the wits with a flat earther that knows what science and the scientific method is. Unlike you, potato eater.
It's that simple.
No, you're a clown. You haven't got a clue what science is. Science and the scientific method aren't going to be proving the shape of Earth because the aspect of Earth we measure is flat. It's got sod all to do with cause and effect. It's not physics. It's not natural science and the scientific method. You are just thick. You are projecting your ineptitude and idiocy onto me, and it's a disgrace.
Why did somebody do something? Because they're stupid. That's the reason.
Why did you make this video? Because you're stupid, because you're a clown, because you thought you'd make your audience believe that you're smart. No. The smart people who figured out how Earth gets measured, that's flat in all circumstances, when we profess to that fact in opposition to you and your ball belief, we get censored, shoved to the bottom of the YouTube algorithmic lists. That's what happens to the actual smart people. The dumbos who respond to Sabine Hosselenfelder and go, yeah, when she uses fallacies like stereotyping, they're the real clowns. You get promoted though, don't you? Yeah, I'm sure you don't struggle to pay your bills. Because you're promoted. Because the lovely world that you inhabit likes dumbos. You're assisting in dumbing the rest of the world down, you clown.
Well, hold on a second. I'm getting a little tired of this because we're getting accused of being stupid. We're getting accused of being science deniers when we uphold the scientific method and we are not in a category error. They are, and they deny geography.
Yeah, AsmonGold, you're a geography denier. Did you not realise that we measure elevation angles of Earth's surface? Did you not realise that? Do you not realise that we use linear horizontal distance measurements in the form of miles and kilometres? Did you not know that? Have you never used a map? Have you never noticed the scale on it being flat? Did you think that was curving, you clown? No, you're a geography denier, aren't you? You're a maths denier, otherwise known as a retard. Yeah, retards like you deny maths and geography because you think it's science. What an idiot.
I mean, I've not watched this video, but I do hope somewhere further on in the video that they, mentioned something like Alberuni or Eratosthenes and how they apparently measured Earth. That would be interesting.
Right, as much as it pains me to do so, right? Go and let AsmonGold know, at Nathan Oakley 1980 sent me, with a polite comment that doesn't immediately get removed by the YouTube algorithmic bots, or indeed by AsmonGold himself. Point out to AsmonGold that an actual flat earther, not some stereotype-using, fallacy-spewing bitch, suggests flat earthers will say this and believe that. An actual flat earther responded and schooled Sabine for her stereotype use, and you, AsmonGold, for agreeing with her, making yourself seem incredibly stupid. Let him know at Nathan Oakley 1980 sent me with a polite comment underneath his video. Hopefully, AsmonGold will grow a set of balls and respond to this and put a link to my video, so maybe I can actually pay some bills this month. Because I'm censored. You won't find me in the YouTube algorithm. Because what am I doing? Well, I'm talking about how Earth gets measured. Flat in all circumstances. Not suggesting that water will flow off the ball you believe in. Because that's got sod all to do with how Earth is actually measured. When we get into the correct category. That's maths and geography. Rise over run, surveying. Elevation angles. Perpendicular to a plane of reference. All of these aspects of Earth's surface are measurable, are measured, and are usable to create a ball for you to believe in like you were told to do so in your crappy school education that you had.
People also believe that an omniscient being keeps track of who they have sex.
It's another stereotyping fallacy. Bitch!
Oh, God.
Stop stereotyping! People believe, do they? Yeah, I won't stereotype you, but I could pour scorn on how stupid you and the rest of your idiot society are when you believe in a ball. What I'll do instead is point out the facts in the matter. You, with your stupid ball belief, need flat Earth measurements to create it. Those are facts, not stereotypes.
With. A recent representative poll in North America found that 5% think the Earth is flat and another...
Who gives the tiniest of shit what a survey says? A survey's not going to show you the measurements of Earth's surface. You think whether or not Earth's flat is based on surveys? What another idiot category error from a lying, stereotype-using bitch. No, whether or not Earth is flat has nothing to do with how you survey people. Was it just me, or was 30 seconds ago you were moaning about how it's about people, and yet you're going to a survey? You think how Earth is measured's got anything to do with the survey of people? You're idiots. If you want to know how Earth is describable in terms of an aspect, not a shape, that's another stupid idiot, crazy notion that you can put into a category area. You need this aspect to be measured. It's not about a poll of people.
Well, here's the thing, though, with Jesus, right? It's so, like, Jesus was, like, the son of God, and, like, his mom, like, was, like, impregnated by God, but...
These are actual beliefs. This is a religion devoid from flat Earth. It's nothing to do with the subject of how Earth gets measured. But now you're incorporating and pouring scorn on actual self-confessed beliefs. This entire religion that you're pouring scorn on is based on faith. Now, my understanding of how Earth gets measured has sod all to do with faith. I don't need faith in elevation angles. You need them for your ball belief and its orbital motion. That's not faith. That's fact. Based on measurement.
But she had a husband too, but like it's not his kid, and like then they crucified him, and then he comes back and he's like, I'm actually Jesus, and like all this shit happens, right? But this is like such a long time ago. Like you can't just go back and be like, yo, by the way, it didn't happen, right? Because like it's hard to disprove that. You can't debunk that as easy as you can with something with flat Earth. I mean, bro.
Again, you're in a category error. The standard that you'd use to validate or disprove biblical suggestions is a historical standard. My God, how many category errors do you need?
People were figuring out the Earth was round probably before we even had wheels.
Really? We were figuring out that Earth was round. No. What we were doing is measuring Earth's surface level with elevation angle measurements to stars like Polaris to derive areas of equal elevation. In this case, the minimum elevation angle measurement of Polaris gives you your radial value. That's where you formed your ball belief, based on flat Earth measurements. But you want to stutter and stammer and go into a high pitch about it, do you? You're a dumbass.
I don't know about it. It was ancient Greece. People fucking knew this.
One deck, you there? No, they measured Earth flat too. Sticks and shadows are elevation angle measurements. That's flat Earth prerequisite elevation angle measurements to derive a radius in a different format. You haven't got a clue. You don't know what you're talking about. Please let AsmonGold know with a polite comment on his video that at Nathan Oakley 1980 sent me. There is a link to AsmonGold's video whizzing its way by in the live stream chat as we speak. Now, we're going to take a little pause here so that the audience does get an opportunity to actually toddle along to AsmonGold and let him know at Nathan Oakley 1980 sent me. The idea being that he does actually put a link to my video. If he grows a set of balls and actually responds to a flat earther telling him, not asking, not debating, not suggesting, telling you Earth's measured flat. I don't need your approval, but it would be nice to see your reaction. Yeah? See how little pain relief you get when I'm calling you an abject clown for not knowing already that Earth's measured flat? Did you not study geography? Have you never used a map? Have you never seen the flat scale? Do you not know what a mile is? Have you never heard of sea level? Did you not know about flight level? Did you not know about all of these axiomatic flat Earth measurements that we use all day, every day when measuring Earth? You'd have thought you'd have looked at that instead of going to a straw man using bitch who's getting a poll. If you want to find out how big your fucking room is, you're going to poll the people in the surrounding area for how big it is, or you're going to take out a fucking tape measure, you clown. Now, I'm going to suggest that you go and poll people. How big do you think my room is? Yeah? Answers on a postcard, and then I'll put them into a little poll and get an idea of how many feet you think it is. What a clown. Feet, by the way, are a flat Earth prerequisite. They're linear.
Isn't it strange? Sorry, Neil. Like because, pardon the pun, the level we're on now, knowing how Earth's measured flat and how in every instance everybody will be describing it that way. When you listen to these videos and they tell you, we never used to notice this, but now when I look at this now and notice it, it's like, wow, it's such a, I can't explain it, but it's like they're telling you it's flat themselves and using examples of it. It's a really weird feeling.
Well, we were so bastard for years. Did they give us 5%? Wow. I thought it was lower than that.
So it's like the difference is like you can believe in Jesus because you can't immediately disprove Jesus.
Sorry, here's my challenge to AsmonGold. Disprove Miles. Does that sound like a stupid statement to you? Because it is. There's no disproving how flat Earth is in terms of how it's measured. It's not something up for debate or discussion. It's just facts about how the surface of Earth is utilised and measured and referenced. Always and without exception. Every single one of your faiths in a ball come from those measurements of a flat surface. That's how Earth is measured. It's not debatable.
You can't disprove Jesus immediately by experimentation and testing.
Right, again, you're in a category error. You don't disprove history with science. I mean, is it just me or is AsmonGold just a complete fuckwit? Like a complete retard? No, you're talking about a historical standard, retard. That's not going to get disproved with physics. You think whether or not Jesus is documentable in history is provable with a cause and effect relationship through the scientific method? You're in a category error. Again. What a moron. No, you need the historic standard for whether or not Jesus existed. Not science, you complete buffoon.
And multiple levels of references and proof, right? Like, what's the evidence that Jesus was the Son of God? Well, I mean, there it is. That's the reason. Evidence is you read the Bible, right? But there's not like, for example...
No, you'd find out by looking through with a history standard. It's a very different set of standards. Idiot, why are you talking about this?
You can't talk about physics to explain that. You can't...
I would bet every single penny I own that if push came to shove on a live stream, AsmonGold could not detail, as I have done on this live stream, what science, that's physics, is. He couldn't do it. He hasn't got a clue. He stuttered around and decided to describe potatoes and tooth loss. He hasn't got a clue.
Go and measure shadows to explain that.
Right, there we go. Immediately failed. I would have kept every penny I own and doubled it if I'd have put it as a bet. So he just said physics and then described measuring something. That's maths, you stupid idiot. So you've immediately proved me right then. You don't know what physics is. Measuring things? No, that's not physics, the study of the physical and natural world. That's measurements, aka maths. You clown, you buffoon, you retard. Do your audience think you're smart, AsmonGold? No, you're not. You're a clown.
Like, you can't immediately go and prove that Jesus was the Son of God without using self-referential logic, right? Where it's like, he is because he says he is, or circular logic, excuse me. And the Bible says he is, and it's why does the Bible say that? Because he is, right? But with the flat earth, it's so much worse than a religion, because you...
So it's not a religion, it's nothing to do with a historical standard, and it isn't circular reasoning. When I say we measure Earth flat, that's a statement of absolute fact. Now, I detailed earlier the rock and the hard place. The rock, accept how Earth is measured flat, because it is. The hard place, deny how flat Earth gets measured. Well, what are you going to base your radial value on for an Earth that you think is spherical then? Oh, you haven't got any measurements if you deny how flat Earth is measured from the hard place. Oh, you do want the flat Earth measurements that your ball's based on. Well then, on your knees in acknowledgement of how flat Earth gets measured. That's maths, not science. Not history either, you dumbo.
You can easily disprove it.
Oh, really? You're going to disprove a mile? And how flat and linear it is on a map? For navigation, you're going to disprove elevation angles used to create orbital motion for you to believe you're on a stupid ball. You're going to disprove elevation, heights above the surface level measured from sea level. You're going to disprove these, are you? Very easy to disprove sea level. That's a nonsensical statement. You don't disprove sea level. It's an axiomatic principle used for measuring altitudes off a flat plane. It's how we measure altitudes. It's not up for debate, you clown.
You can disprove it in seconds.
Okay. Disprove sea level. You fuckwit. Do it. I'd like to see AsmonGold disprove sea level. I mean, this is a very malformed challenge. You're not going to be disproving sea level. It is what it is. It's an average of the sea as a level plane of reference so we can describe heights from it. Like how high or low the land is with respect to the surface level, from an average measured level that we use called sea level. You're going to disprove that, are you, AsmonGold, with your Yoo-hoo and your Red Bull and your trash that you sit in? You dirty, stupid grebo. No, you're not going to disprove sea level. You're a fuckwit.
But they believe it anyway.
Sorry, am I believing in sea level? Is sea level something that I base a belief on? Or is it how we surveyed the entire surface of Earth with respect to it? Is that a belief? No, you're a dickhead, an idiot, a buffoon, a vapid moron. That's what you are. If you think that sea level's a belief, no, it's an axiomatic principle used for measuring the surface with. That's what it is. That's not something I believe in, you total moron.
Aren't quite sure. I'm not quite sure how many people lie in these polls, but there's no doubt that interest in flat earth ideas has...
So let me get it straight. You've presented this poll and you don't even know anything about it. So when AsmonGold goes out and asks a load of people, how big's my room? Will it be this multiple choice answer or that It's a measurement. But she doesn't even know where the polls come from or the statistics around it. So you've just found a random poll that says there's 5% of people who believe in flat Earth, but you don't know the numbers. Not that whether or not Earth being measured flat's got anything to do with people's suggestions of their belief. Who cares how many people know? It wouldn't matter if it was just me. it will still be measured flat, regardless of your pole. You pair of clowns.
Seems to me, Nathan, like, you know, if the 5% is correct, I mean, she's making a big deal about this, you know, people believing in a flat earth, isn't she? Like it's really affected her life somehow.
It's causing her pain because her actual belief in a ball that's been built on flat earth measurements is undermined by the people believing in a flat earth by a percentage that she can look up on a graph that she hasn't got a clue about the statistics that built it with. What a clown.
No, she's got to do his add-on. Now she's going into birds aren't real. Really?
Called a straw man.
Spiked in the past decade, as you can see in the Google search trends.
It's going to keep getting worse, by the way.
Yeah, you're damn fucking right it is, you stupid idiot. You're going to have me spitting feathers about how factually flat Earth is measured to produce a ball for you to believe in. So you're damn straight it's going to get worse. The only thing you can do to overcome these facts is censor me. So let AsmonGold know at Nathan Oakley 1980 sent me with a polite comment that doesn't immediately get removed by him, while he gets all hetty about how terrible it's getting. Oh no, there's flat earthers coming to me. Yeah, there is. I've sent them to you to tell you you're a clown based on the measurements of Earth being flat.
In 2009, the International Flat Earth Society set up a website. In 2013, part of its members set up a wiki and discussion forum.
So if I set up a website describing how dirty AsmonGold is, would that make it real? If I survey people, how dirty and stinky and disgusting do you think AsmonGold is? Will that make it a fact? Surely we'd have to be in your presence and just use our noses to figure out how disgusting you stink, rather than taking a survey from people about how they might think you stink, how dirty they perceive you to be. Now, the survey's irrelevant. How stinky you are is based on how foul you smell, and how flat Earth is based on how it's measured. Doesn't matter what websites were set up about it.
Around 2015, the topic started to appear on YouTube and spread from here. In 2017, the first Flat Earth conference took place, which attracted a lot of media attention.
Who gives the tiniest of shits about any of this stuff? This is only done to make Flat Earth about people and surveys and statistics about those people. When the first Flat Earth video came out, has that got anything to do how Earth gets measured? No. When the first Flat Earth conference was, has that got anything to do with how Earth gets measured? No. But it makes it about the people, doesn't it? Because then you can pour scorn and ridicule on the people and ignore how flat Earth is measured. That's the purpose of this shit.
I want to make one thing clear, though, is that I bet the majority of this traffic are people talking about it being stupid.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, you're one of them. A dumb fuck retard who stinks. I took a poll. Survey says you stink like shit. Must be true. Got a poll that says so. Yeah, that's the general consensus. The general consensus is AsmonGold's a dirty grebo. So it must be true, right, AsmonGold? Doesn't matter if you took a shower today or not. The consensus say you stink. So it must be true, right? But the traffic is absolutely unequivocally directed to people who say we are, with strawman fallacies and category errors, wrong. You're watching one of them right now. But what do you get from actual flat earthers? Well, you get demeaned. You get called stupid with examples of your stupidity, like your potato example for science, like your historic standard for Jesus being called science. What an idiot. But you won't find me in a hurry. You'll find Sabine. Because that's what YouTube were told to do by Congress. Censor the flat earthers, that's me. And promote this shithead, that's Sabine. So yeah, I bet all the traffic's people talking about how idiots say Earth's flat and believe Earth's flat. Meanwhile, my name's Nathan Oakley. I'll tell you in no uncertain terms, not ask, not seek affirmation, not require your permission, but tell you how Earth is measured. It's flat.
Right? So we're thinking about, for example, the Flat Earth Conference where, Andrew from like Channel 5 was like interviewing people, right? So it's like this.
It's almost like when you hear the words flat, an aspect, and earth, the surface that you're standing on, you think you need to get a Channel 5 news anchor to go and interview people. It's almost like you're demented. You'd think you'd go straight to the measurements, but you're too stupid to do that, aren't you? What's that, flat earth? Quick, interview somebody! Idiot!
Goes up. Like, for example, I bet Hitler goes up around in April, right? Like, search.
Oh my God. So now it's whether or not we've got statistics on the searches for Hitler. No, this category is a mathematical category. Now, what we typically do, and had I not been paid to cover this shithead, stinky grebo retard, we'd be covering the normies who measure Earth flat. But when they're not told that they need to apologise for how ball-shaped it isn't when they measure Earth flat, they don't highlight that inconsistency with your ball belief. They just talk about how Earth gets measured flat for things like navigation, surveying, flying, anything that requires a measurement of Earth's surface. And what do you know? It's always measured flat. But what's that? You need to go and interview people at a conference? Yeah, that's what I'd expect from a retard. What's that? Flat Earth? Quick, get my mic, let's go interview people.
Searches for Hitler go up. Why is that?
Edited video. You could have edited it out yourself sounding like a spastic, but you chose to keep it in.
Because that's the year, or sorry, the month he was born in, right? And so, like, searches for a lot of things are going to go up, not necessarily because more people support them.
Good. Is that someone wanted to add something? Nope, clearly not.
But just simply because more people are talking about them or looking at them. Like, a conversation about something does not necessarily mean that this is support of it. So I want to make...
First thing he said that's true. Finally, I get to give you some props. Yeah, that's right. Whether or not people talk about flat Earth has no bearing on how Earth is measured. It's not supporting or decrying the reality in this particular instance. Whether Earth is measured flat would dictate whether or not it's flat. It is. That's how it's measured. How many people talk about it is irrelevant. It wouldn't matter if it was just me who knew that fact. It would still be measured flat. It doesn't matter if the percentages are really low, really high. Who cares? It's the first truthful statement he's made so far.
Make sure that you cannot control for critical discussion inside of an evaluation of a graph like this.
So, yeah, so the critical evaluations of the statistical graph.
And interest.
That's what the evaluation's for. His evaluation is of the statistics for how popular the YouTube searches for the subject are. Shouldn't you be searching for elevation profiles of Earth's surface, like how it's been measured? They're all flat. Shouldn't you be looking at how an aircraft negotiates the surface level, with its height measured off sea level, with its angle of attack up a couple of degrees, a flat Earth only measurement, with respect to horizontal? Shouldn't you look at those sorts of things? Nah. Look at how many searches on YouTube for the subject have been taking place. Yeah? Is that how you're going to gauge this subject? What an idiot. No. If you want to figure out how much flour you put into a recipe to make a cake, you don't go and survey how many people are making cakes.
And you certainly
After
don't make a
that,
stupid
but rather
graph
than just fake.
Good.
Well, you certainly don't make a stupid graph that utilizes a flat plane to show how much people believe in a flat plane.
Eating away. In recent years, interest in flat Earth has been on the rise again.
It is, and the reason why is because a lot of...
You have no idea why the subject is interesting, AsmonGold. Why are you about to launch into why people are more interested in the subject? You don't know.
People that believe in conspiracies.
Oh, really? No, I am not somebody who believes in conspiracies. I pour scorn on the clowns in my own subject arena who talk about 9/11 and JFK and Mandela effect. I think they're all idiots. This is a mathematical and geographical subject matter, and it's dealt with measurements. So no, your stereotyping fallacy fails like it failed for Sabine earlier. Now I get to call you a stereotype fallacy using moron, don't I, AsmonGold? I get to call you a clown, don't I? Why? Because you are, by example. I've just given it.
It's like trying to take a toy away from a dog if a dog's like biting a toy.
Really? So when I say Earth is measured flat for parallel eye level, surface level, sea level, altitudes, flight level, all of these things that are axiomatically requiring a surface level to measure, so that we don't crash into it in planes, that's comparable to dogs, is it? Really? No, I think you're a stupid shithead. That's what I think. I think you're using a false comparison fallacy. Like a moron. That's what I think. And I'm right.
You can't take the conspiracy away from them. You have to.
This is not a conspiracy that needs to be created in such a way that it seems that way, right? Get all the conspiracy dickheads furrowed down a narrow path towards flat Earth so that you can stereotype the subject matter based on what idiots talk about. It's not about what the idiots in the subject talk about. It's about the measurements. They're all flat. If you deny them, then you've got no reference to build a ball with. So, to summarise, Earth is measured flat, and without those flat Earth measurements, you don't get to believe you're on a ball. Hope that's clear.
To wait for them to let go of it on their own.
No, you need to let go of your stupid ball belief. It's based on flat Earth measurements. Projection.
And the more that you try to take it away from them...
So, take sea level away from me, you complete fuckwit. You're going to take sea level away? What about flight level? Yeah? The planes that are flying over the surface level, measured from sea level, with altitudes perpendicular to a plane of reference, with the nose of the plane measured in a degree that can only be described from a flat plane, from the horizontal. You're going to tell me that you're going to take those away from me because they're all conspiracies? You're a fucking retard. You're not going to take any of this away from me. These are facts. Without them, people die. They'd crash their planes. Without them, we wouldn't have surveyed the land to give us the geographical distances in miles and kilometres, scaled on the maps we use. These aren't things that you, a dirty, stinky grebo, are going to take from me. They're facts of Earth measurement, you stupid clown.
The more people will believe it.
Sorry, am I believing in sea level? Am I believing in parallel flight level? When an air traffic controller tells a plane to ascend to a flight level, that's not a belief, you stupid moron!
I think obviously flat Earth is a good example, but another one is COVID. One of the reasons why people are so distrusting of the media...
I don't want to hear this. Anybody got anything to add on around out of the live show? Did you get your £100 worth?
They're really entertaining. There's a hell of a lot more you could react to, though.
I don't mind doing it again tomorrow.
Yeah, sounds. Bring it on.
Yeah, we'll do the rest of it tomorrow. We've only got 7 minutes into a 30-minute video, so I don't mind doing it in a two-parter. We'll cover the rest of this tomorrow. Anybody got any comments this far?
Just to say it's a bit of a shame because he's more of a globe believer than an anti-flat earther, so we're being a bit harsh on him. And I do like AsmonGold, though, so it's good getting your name on his channel.
Yeah, and you've done a great 7 minutes so far. It's all been worthwhile. Nathan, excellent work. That would be my comment. Thank you.
Well, let me just pour scorn a little less on AsmonGold, right? In the pre-show, I was saying I was going to try and be gentle to you because it's not your fault. But when you're using stereotyping fallacies, it is your fault. You are the ones using these fallacies. So I will pour scorn on you. Now, is it your fault that you've been furrowed into a direction that makes you think that flat Earth is a belief based on the statistics that are presented to you by Sabine Hoslenfelder, with how many searches have been made on YouTube for a proofsy of how flat Earth is? I mean, that's idiotic if you actually stand back from what you're assessing. Well, that's your fault again. I can't help but say it. If you can't assess that how many searches are done on the subject isn't a proof of the geometry of the surface, if you can't assess that for yourself, then I'm right in calling you a clown. Now, I don't want to call you a clown. I like what you do generally too. I find you quite amusing. but I will. When you stereotype me. That's what I'll do. Now grow a pair of balls and respond to me. Let AsmonGold know at Nathan Oakley 1980 sent me with a polite comment. Hopefully one of my mods will reissue the link to this video that we're covering today so that you can pop along and let him know that we've covered his video. Hopefully, as I say, AsmonGold would put a link to my video, helping me along in the YouTube algorithmic love that we definitely do not receive when we spit facts about how flat Earth is actually measured, in the face of idiots telling us that it's about YouTube search statistics. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say if you are watching this on either Nathan Oakley 1980 or Nathan Oakley Premiering streams, then stay tuned as there will be an after show to follow. Unfortunately, though, if you are watching this live, this is where we bid you farewell. So another massive thank you to all of you who liked, commented, shared, subscribed, joined as a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member, hit me up on PayPal and Patreon and all that good stuff. Let's just see if there's any YouTube. Yes, there is. There's a couple of super chats that I'll read out now. So Unitox Femu says, if the globe could be proven, there would be no FE. Yeah, I suppose I'd agree with that. If you could prove there'd be a globe, there'd be no need for me to be sitting here spitting feathers about how flat it's measured. To measure is to know, end quote. And once you know, you can grow. Thanks, Nathan. Keep this warranted roast going. Thank you very much. That's Jomo Level Logic. Thank you very much for the super chat. And yeah, that's it. Massive thank you to my Discord and G+ panels once again. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I will see you all in the next video.
But when you measure it flat, it contradicts that. I'm spitting flat facts and that. And I know you don't like that. Google Maps is flat, it presents elevation profiles like that. I'm a spitting flat earth king. Sentence has a ring, doing my own thing. If Earth was a big roast chicken, factually finger licking chicken, we just got the measurements missing. I'm spitting eggs and begs, begging the question lesson. I've said it before, time after time. I'm the spitting flat earth king of rhyme.